Awesome, Jesse. So we've gone ahead and started the recording. Let me just kind of lay out the way the role play is going to work. Okay, we're going to follow all your instructors' guidelines and everything like that. Should be about 10 to 15 minutes for the actual role play. And in the last 5 minutes or maybe a little bit more, we can leave for feedback and any kind of questions you may have. All right?
Okay, great.
Awesome. So just to reiterate, it looks like, and correct me if I'm wrong, because this is a lot of information from my end.
hmm
It looks like this is going to be an inbound call where I am calling you, correct?
Yeah, and you have like knowledge, I guess, already. Like you're as a customer, a potential customer, you're already like curious about the process.
Sure. Awesome. So you ready?
Yes, I am. I'm just saying. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So three, two, one, ring ring.
So, hi, Kelly Jason. This is Jesse Michael calling from Intuit. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
That's great. How is everything going with your company, Speedy Fix?
Um, to be honest with you, I kind of inquired about QuickBooks, or I've been looking at it for a little while. I have a small business currently, and you know, it was fun when we started, but it does seem like things are getting a little bit out of hand at the moment. And I was looking at kind of a way to make the business kind of a little bit more streamlined. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes complete sense, and I completely understand. It's definitely a lot with small businesses. It's a lot on your plate, I'm sure. So just to like gauge your knowledge, what do you actually know right now about QuickBooks Online?
To be honest with you, Jesse, I know from the commercials that it's accounting.
Yeah.
I
So
know that,
basically,
oh,
sorry, go ahead.
that's cool. I know that a lot of other small businesses use it. That's really
Okay.
all I know.
Okay, that's great. So QuickBooks Online is an accounting software package that is truly customizable to you in terms of the features that we have. We have a bunch of different features that really help you save time and money for your business. Would you be interested in hearing more about how we can find like a plan that best will suit you and SpeedyFix?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay, great. So in order for me to figure out which plan would be best for you to use, I need to ask you some questions about SpeedyFix so that I can assess what's going on. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Nah, go for it. Go for it.
Okay, great. So I know that SpeedyFix is a mobile repair company, and you also kind of sell accessories too. Is there anything else I need to know about your company before going forward?
Uh, I mean, we're kind of expanding in the sense where, like, in the beginning, it was just, iPhone screens, and now we're dealing with Android screens, and we're dealing with iPads and other kind of tablets and devices, and we're kind of moving into the whole, if it's got a screen, we want to be able to fix it.
Okay, that's really awesome and exciting that you guys are expanding too.
Yeah.
So, how many employees do you currently have?
So currently it's me, my wife, and I have two part-time employees.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah.
but I'm looking to make them full-time as things are kind of getting busy. I mean, they're kind of already working close to 40 hours as it is, and then maybe bringing on some more people.
Okay, great. What do you project your company's like growth to be within the next year?
To be honest with you, I can't even keep a handle of the customers I have. And
Yeah.
I know that's like a really good problem to have, but I'm hoping two to three times X, you know, customer base as well as, everything like that as we go into more marketing and more advertising and things like that.
Okay, wow, that's actually really awesome that you 2 or 3 times. That's great. And so I understand that you currently use ADP for payroll, and then Square and Venmo for payments, and then you also use Excel for just some other like bookkeeping things. Is this still true?
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay. For the most part, are you using anything else? Did
No,
I miss anything? Or
to be honest with you, I can't remember if I am. I
okay.
know I use, the Outlook calendar and, Google Sheets and, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. And what would you say you are currently facing like as a challenge within the accounting aspect of your company?
Well, here's the deal. I don't have a bookkeeper.
Mhm.
So, I have these two part-timers who were only supposed to work 20 hours a week, and now I've got them working 40 hours a week. and I'm spending money on them, which is fine. Hey, people want to make money, but I'm spending most of my time trying to figure out where the money's coming from, where the money's going. And that could be anything, right? That could be advertising, that could be the rent, that could be our inventory, and just trying to keep a constant handle on exactly what's going on because, it's not just money, it's also the taxes associated with it and all the little fees and all the percentages and all that stuff. And that's kind of giving me a tough time.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it. And then I guess too, when you're using like all these different systems, is it really hard to keep everything kind of together because it's not an integrated system?
Oh yeah. I'm tired of looking at like 17 different spreadsheets and then comparing them to the bank and doing all that stuff. And then company credit cards and all that stuff. It's kind of getting a little bit on the weird side.
Right. So is finding like a system or, for anything like just payroll, just payments, or just in general, like finding a system that's less time consuming and even just easier to use because it sounds like you have a lot on your plate of importance to you?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Something that'll keep me, I mean, bottom line is I started a business to do the business. I did
Hmm.
not get my degree in accounting, so
Yes.
it's not really what I wanted to do.
Okay. And then, like you said, you use like ADP and a bunch of different other things for payroll. What are like some of the features that you currently like about all the systems that you're using?
Well, ADP for payroll is nice because they kind of do everything, right? Like that's the one thing
Hmm.
where I say, "Hey, Kevin worked 23 hours," and they're like, "Okay, we're gonna get Kevin a paycheck." Um,
Right.
then I have to, take that data and put it into another Excel spreadsheet or something like that. But that's a little bit on the simpler side. And then, Square is kind of nice when I'm out in the field or my people are out in the field and they can go and they can swipe credit cards because, I maybe have one in every 20 customers that still carry cash.
Right.
So got to do that. But then at the same time, I got to take those fees and I got to subtract it from my bottom line, and then I got to put the numbers in a spreadsheet, so it's kind of all over the place.
Okay. And then are there any like features or things that you're really missing from these systems that would be really helpful to you?
Well, one thing that is kind of, I'm a mobile repair person, right? Like I
Hmm.
go to places and I fix mobile phones and mobile tablets, and I just hate having to like to get all my receipts and all my paperwork and all my invoices, and I got to go home and I got to sit in the office and I got to do everything from my desk, right? I'd love it if
Hmm.
I could just do it on the fly.
Right. That's awesome. Um, so then if you had like the ability to do everything on the fly, would that just give you more time to do other things within the business that you've been kind of meaning to do?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. And then if you're comfortable answering this, how much do you spend per month on like all of the accounting services that you use?
So to be honest with you, I mean, Excel came with the computer.
Hmm.
Google Sheets is free. Um, uh, Apologize. Sorry.
Very good.
So yeah, and then Google Sheets is free. ADP costs me some money. That's about 80 bucks a month or something like that. But at the same time, then I don't have to do taxes, so I kind
Right.
of let that one go. But for the most part, really nothing. Just my time.
Okay. Sorry. Um, yeah, okay. That makes sense. So just going back to like all the challenges that you've had with nothing being integrated and it's taking you a lot of time and it's kind of taking you away from other aspects of your business, what would you specifically like to overcome within the next year?
Um, well, maybe I don't have to hire an extra person if I can go out in the field more. I would love to spend more time, actually with my business and enjoying it than in my home in the office. I mean, I guess just growth, what every other small business owner, I assume, wants is more money and, you know, better service.
Okay. So would you say if you are able to overcome that, you would measure it by just obtaining more money and maybe just having more time to go out and, like you said, do things in the field?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then are there any like challenges that you're not currently having that you potentially see being a problem in the future?
I mean, yeah. I'm really afraid for tax time.
Hmm.
That's always on my mind in the sense where it's like, I get it. I could probably use something like TurboTax, or I could go to H&R Block and have them do my taxes, but I don't know how much money I'm going to owe, like
Yeah.
necessarily. Like I have a idea of it, but I don't necessarily like know. So I just don't want something jumping at me where it's like, oh, you owe the government $100,000, and I'm like, awesome, I'll just clear out the savings. But that as well as like, I don't know. I know it sounds kind of dumb because we use a cell phone every single time of the year, but like I don't know seasonal trends. I don't know anything like that.
Right. Okay, I think I can definitely help you out with that. So, like you were saying, you want to save, time, money, have an integrated system. But if you actually don't see a decrease in the amount of time that you're spending and the amount of just like obstacles that you have to overcome within the near future, what are like the actual consequences of that?
I could be out of a business,
Okay. Wow.
bottom line.
And then like to reverse that, what are the benefits of you being able to save a lot of time and just having a system that's a lot easier for you?
I mean, I could reap the benefits of having a business, right? Like I didn't start a business just to work. Like I'd love to go on vacation. I'd love to go do something. I'd love to reinvest into maybe a different type of business one day.
Right.
Savings, retirement, 401k, the whole shebang.
Right. Okay, so thank you so much for answering my questions. From what I understand, you're having a lot of problems with the integration. You want to save time, and obviously, we want to have you have more personal time for yourself. Did I really miss anything with the problems you've been having?
No?
Okay, great. So, based on everything that you have told me about your current status and like your future goals, I believe that the QuickBooks Online Advanced Plan, with the addition of the payroll premium, would be the best for you. The advanced plan allows you to have up to 25 different users, which is a lot more employees than you have, but it also does everything from track your income to automate your workflows. It sends you estimates and it also helps you with your taxes. And then it also allows you to do your payments online, which I know you said was something that you're having issues with or you would like to make easier for yourself. And then the payroll premium plan gives you like all the basics of a payroll plan, and it also allows you to track the time of your employees, and it also allows you to do same day direct deposit, which I think is a really cool feature. Does this seem like something you might be interested in purchasing?
It does. How much is it?
So currently, QuickBooks Online is $45 a month for the first 3 months, as we are having a promotion because normally it is $150 per month. And then the payroll feature is also discounted right now at 70% for the flat rate, and it's 22.50 a month. It's typically $75 a month, and it's $8 per employee.
Okay.
That's kind of
So
a
it's
lot,
about the
sorry.
same. So it's about the same price as my ADP.
Yes.
Um, hmm.
However, I think the biggest difference with this system and versus ADP is that you're getting everything really integrated, and it's going to be a lot easier for you to use. It's going to be a lot less things for you to track, and in general, it's going to save you a lot more time on your business because everything will be in that one system, and you'll really be able to kind of take a step back from doing all that tedious work that you've been doing.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, um, is there like a contract or anything?
Yeah, so I can actually get you started on this plan as soon as possible, and I can send you a DocuSign contract as soon as we hang up the phone.
Gotcha. And once I sign the DocuSign contract, then I'm locked in for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, it just depends on like the certain plan that you choose. So if you were to just sign up for the first like 3 months or so, you would be locked in.
Okay. Well, send me the contract. I'll take a look at it and we'll go from there.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for your time. It was great talking to you.
Okay. Thank you. How'd you think it went?
I think it went good. I was definitely surprised at first when you started talking about taxes because I wasn't as prepared for that, honestly. But I think it went pretty good.
So my apologies, and I'm not going to ding you for that one.
Oh no, you're fine.
I spent about a year selling QuickBooks Online way back in the day, so I know some of
Right.
the questions that customers do say.
Oh no, that was
Um,
definitely good. I was, yeah.
Perfect. So let me be frank with you. I think the call went very well. I think your conversation skills are awesome. You're very friendly. Your tonality is amazing.
Yeah.
I think you did ask some really great and amazing questions, especially when it came to what a business could benefit from,
Hmm.
right? Now, what I kind of wish I would have heard a little bit more was asking about the particular business that I had.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So what's really kind of funny in the day and age that we live in, right? Everybody wants to find a niche in the sense
Hmm.
of like they want to name their something, they want to name their uh, business something really cool, right? So like
Right.
for example, the name of this business was Speedy Fix, and I think there are a couple Speedy Fixes around like that we know that they're mobile phone carriers. You still want to ask the customer like what they do.
Right. Okay.
Like don't assume.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
per,
true.
Perfect example, back in the day, you may be too young to know this, but Amazon started off as an ebook store, a book delivery business,
Hmm.
right? If they're not the megalomania that they are right now. No one knew what Amazon was. Like, what does Amazon mean? Are we talking the rainforest here? Or are we talking something crazy? So people were asking questions.
Right.
So the same thing. You want to ask questions about the customer. You want to ask certain, signifying things on every single call or any kind of sales call when it comes to like things like how long they've been in business, what they particularly do in the beginning to kind of build that rapport. I
Okay.
think you did an awesome job building the rapport with the customer in the sense of asking things like, for example, an upfront contract, asking them,
Hmm.
hey, would it be okay if I ask for your, can I get your permission to ask questions? Things like that. I love the questions about the future. I love the questions about, foreseeing change.
Yeah.
That's great. And you know what's really cool about that is sometimes just brutally asking the questions like you did right there is the perfect way to go.
Hmm.
We don't need to sugarcoat it. We don't need to baby anything.
Right.
Um, One thing that I probably would have changed a little bit was what's the word I'm looking for? Um, Rather than spending so much time asking the problems, maybe
Hmm.
speak a little bit more to the benefits of the solution,
Okay. Yeah,
right?
that makes sense.
Rather than bringing a solution to the table by asking a problem, sometimes you need to kind of state the solution to the customer in order for them to kind of understand. It's not
Right.
always about getting me to say my pain points, right? Sometimes it's
Hmm.
elaborating on the pain points, coming up with your own solution based on the customer's pain points,
Okay. Yeah.
right?
I think
So
yeah, that makes
So
sense.
like there's a perfect example. You kind of asked me like, hey, what would you do with that time back?
Hmm.
Right? Maybe you would have kind of instigated and says, well, it sounds like you're really trying to get time back, maybe to go expand your business, maybe to go on vacation rather than asking me that kind of question. Planting a seed, then going on to the next question. But that's just a kind of
Yeah.
sales skill that I'm sure you're going to lose. You learn.
Yeah.
Overcoming objections, there really weren't too many.
No.
I think you got to the point kind of where questions where it made so much common sense that there wasn't going to be a type of objection, and that's a really good call, right?
Okay.
Like you kind of sold the value of the product, so awesome job there.
Thank you.
I think one thing is the close, right?
Yeah.
It is always nice to send someone a document or a contract, right?
Hmm.
You don't know if they're going to sign it,
True. I was
right?
thinking that, but I was like, I don't know how to. I was like thinking before this, like, how would I like respond if they like just wanted to look at it? Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I just didn't really know like if being like, oh, like just sign it today or something would be like pushy or something, or like asking them when they're gonna sign it, or maybe just following, like asking them like, oh, me, I'll follow up with you like tomorrow or something about it.
I think you just hit the nail on the head.
Okay.
I'll follow you up with you, by tomorrow in a couple hours, whatever. Would that be
Okay.
okay? Just to see if you had any difficulties with the contract or you had any more questions.
Right.
That's a
Okay.
perfect way to do it.
All right. Definitely.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Thank you for that's really good feedback. I definitely agree too.
No
I
problem.
was like,
The whole point behind a sales call is to show investment in the client,
mhm,
right? So that's really what you want to try and aim for.
mhm,
But overall, I think the call went well.
yeah.
I think if my feedback is anything, and I'm sure your professor will chime in and say I maybe gave too much feedback, and I'm not trying to step on his toes when it comes to your sales skills, but I think you did a great job.
Thank you. I'm definitely I like to hear your feedback, even if it is more than he would give me. I want to do sales, so I would want to hear as much feedback as possible.
Awesome. Very impressed with the knowledge that you undertook within the last, I don't know how many days over a
Mhm.
product that we usually train people on for about a month. So great
Yeah,
job.
thank you.
Other than that, so if I could be, if I can give you your top pros, I think your verbally, I think your tonality and your confidence and your communication skills are way above average through the roof.
Thank you.
Um, I think you're very clear, you're very professional.
Thank you.
And I do like your usage of upfront contracts as well as your permission skills. That's great. And you do have a knack for asking questions. I think if I were to give you a con, it would obviously be the kind of like, hey, the follow up on
Mhm.
the close, which is something you can learn very easily, as well as the ability to actually make a statement rather than a question,
Okay, yeah,
right?
I
So like
understand.
stating to the customer the benefit rather than asking them for a pain point that you can solve for.
Right, that makes sense. I think I need to ask or say more of those versus asking like more questions, I guess. But yeah,
Awesome.
thank you
Jesse, do you
so
have any
much.
questions for me? Or are you good?
I don't think so. Thank you for your feedback. I
Uh,
really appreciate it.
Alrighty. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.